Here we are right outside of Puyo. Puyo is one of the last cities in the Ecuadorian Amazon that you can get to without having to go by plane or by motorized canoe. And we're in this region that has been completely deforested. About 53% of people in Puyo, in the area, in the region, are devoted to logging. And so there's a lot of deforestation in this region. And we're here with Omar, who is a man that is from the region, from Puyo, and for the last 37 years, he has been building his own forest, his own reserve. He's been preserving different species as much as he can, looking for species and trying to reintroduce them into the region. We're just about 5 minutes from the property of Omar here, and as you can see as we drive through, I mean, a lot of it has just been deforested. I mean, one of the biggest reasons for deforestation in this region is, colonization and civilization. But at one point, the government was offering big pieces of land, about 50 hectares.
20 hectares era mínimo.
So the minimum being 50 hectares of land, but only if they would deforest 80% of what was on that land. ¿Qué dices? There's something that he wants to show us. Let's get out with Omar.
De aquí se mira dos reservas, ¿no? Dos reservas.
So he's saying from here that you can see two reserves out.
De la parte de aquí para acá es la reserva de los yanganates.
So there's a reserve of the Yanganates.
Sí, yanganates. Y la otra de ahí para allá es la reserva del Sangay.
And then over there is the reserve of Sangay.
Entonces es la división, por ahí viene el río Pastaza.
And in between is the river, the Pastaza
Se puede
River.
observar la primera cordillera es ya deforestado.
So if you see like that, the first ridge over there in the distance is actually completely deforested.
Entonces queda de muy atrás queda los bosques prácticamente primarios.
And then, so just beyond that is where there's still primary forest. Here we are at the back of the reserve, on the other side, on the back side, and he's showing us how much of this is deforested.
Lo que nosotros queremos es justamente comprar, ver la posibilidad de conseguir financiamiento para comprar este terreno con pasto para hacer lo mismo que hicimos acá en el jardín, crear un ecosistema.
He wants to buy all this area that is just basically grassland in order to create the same sort of ecosystem that they have there. Existe el bosque, como un poco de tu motivación, inspiración. I'm asking him because he loves to talk about the plants, which are like his children, but not so much about his inspiration and where he actually found the drive to do this.
Bueno, primeramente porque siempre quise vivir y morir en un bosque.
He said because he always wanted to live and die in a forest.
Y otra fue la preocupación de que se iba extinguiendo especies.
And then there's worry that just different species were becoming extinct.
Bueno, el trabajo acá fue muy duro, ¿no? Muy duro, pero cuando se hace por gusto, por convicción y la satisfacción de hacer, no pasa nada.
It was hard work from the beginning, but the satisfaction of it, it felt like nothing.
Eso es el premio, vuelta de todo el trabajo.
So, the prize is, wow, I'm stepping over a wave of ants. Oh, okay, they apparently they bite, so we're gonna keep going. But the satisfaction of seeing the result of his work is what, okay, I have to shake off my boots because these ants apparently bite. I think I'm okay, hopefully.
6.75 hectáreas de terreno.
So they have 6.75 hectares of terrain.
Que no pueden sostener a la recuperación biológica que tuvimos acá.
That can't sustain the biological diversity that they have here.
A la final es un espacio demasiado pequeño que necesitamos de forma urgente agrandar.
So it's just too small spaces and they need to get bigger. ¿Y por qué? ¿Por qué necesitan agrandar?
Para no perder los resultados biológicos.
So saying he needs to get bigger because to not lose the biodiversity. Pero ¿qué son una de las problemáticas?
Primeramente, la ciudad se está Está rodeando este jardín.
So, I mean, out around this reserve, around the garden, the city is just continuing to grow and circling. Here we are, we're gonna trek through the jungle a little bit to see the backside of the garden that he's been talking about, which shows how much deforestation is actually around the garden. And when I say garden, I mean, like I said, this is the way that they have to call it. As you can see, this is much more than a garden, much more than any garden that I've ever seen. So literally, as far as you can see, it's just deforested. And then right next to us is his garden. Y dices, entonces, ¿esto qué era antes? I'm asking him what this was before.
Bueno, originalmente bosques primarios,
Okay, I asked him what it was. He said it
territorios
was
indígenas.
indigenous territory and primary forest.
Luego cortaron ya en la colonización para sembrar caña de
But then-
azúcar.
And then they started planting sugarcane.
Cuando ya no funcionó la caña, hicieron los pastizales y se acabó.
And then when the sugarcane no longer was able to grow, they put these kind of grazing lands. Here we are in Omar's own museum. And we'll get closer to these, but these are all the species of bugs, bugs and toads and frogs that have arrived here into his forest.
Entonces esto aquí se puede ver al comienzo cómo cambiaron las formas de vida, los hábitos alimenticios y cómo fue evolucionando la cuestión también de la sanidad del bosque.
So he's saying that this also shows the evolution of the health of the forest through
El acercamiento de insectos de cada especie determina cómo estuvo la sanidad del bosque y cuál es su grado de sensibilidad que tiene también por una destrucción ambiental.
So it's also going to show that the health of the forest can also be shown by what kinds of bugs come and come close to the forest and come to reside in the forest, because the more kinds of diversity of bugs is an example, an indicator of how healthy your forest
Por
is.
ejemplo, los camuflajes, estos insectos que se camuflan, aparecieron aquí después de 28 años. Eso necesitamos.
Wow. So this is I mean, as you can see, it's a camouflage bug. Es una mariposa.
Es una cigarra,
Okay, I was asking if it was a butterfly, but it's not. But this camouflage bug actually took 28 years in order to appear here, and that's how long it takes. And the one above here,
Acá tenemos, por ejemplo, araña, son arañas especiales que hicimos seguimiento en la vida de orquídeas.
and so this is a spider that, I don't know if you can even tell, but it's a spider that actually specifically lives within the orchid. ¿Y cuánto tiempo
Por ejemplo,
dura?
esas arañas aparecieron aquí, la primera me acuerdo a los 19 años.
This arrived after 19 years. So now Omar and his entire family are part of the project here. The garden, as they like to call it, but it's much more than that. And they all work together to collect seeds, which they then provide to seed banks in the area and the universities in order to just help preserve as many species as they can. And as you can see, even right as you walk outside, you can see the deforestation. So he's been shy to say it and talk about his role in this all and how incredible it really is. But you can really see his love for the plants and for the ecosystem and for the nature. And that really is the motivation behind all this. Even though every time I ask him, he tries to change the subject and talk about a certain plant and the amazing qualities that it has. You can see that deep passion inside of him. So, I mean, as you can see, this is something that Omar and his family have devoted their life to. Something that they will continue to devote their lives to, and as he hopes for generations to come. Because even this tree here takes 300 years to have wood that is usable for material goods. And so it's a process that you often don't see in one lifetime. And so here we are in the presence of a modern day Renaissance man.